Good evening, everyone, and welcome to ATU Live. I am your host, Emily Norton, and the elephant in the room, no masks. This is y'all's first ever time seeing the bottom half of my face, so here I am. Hello. Dr. Bowen has just relinquished us of our mask mandate, so no more masks indoors. And so we're really excited about that, being able to see each other's faces, and since the CDC has said like it's safe, we're very excited about that. So in honor of March being Women's History Month, we have some awesome guests joining us tonight to discuss women's history. But before we welcome our guests, I would like everyone to pull out their phones right now. If you're in person or if you're online, take a picture of you watching ATU Live and post it on your Instagram story. Tag our Instagram at ATU Res Live because we're going to be picking one winner at the end of the show from our Instagram to win a prize. So, first of all, we're going to talk about some news. Some stuff has happened. Obviously, the mask mandate has just been lifted, so that's effective immediately. We no longer have to wear masks indoors, and that literally just happened right before the show. Second of all, this past Sunday, Shannon Lacey from the Arkansas Tech Golden Sun softball team threw a perfect game against Eastern Central. This makes only the 6th perfect game in Arkansas Tech softball program history. That is really cool, and that's really exciting. I personally love baseball. It's my favorite sport to watch, and so softball, same. Second of all, Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys, their basketball season for the 2021-2022 came to a close this past Saturday in a close game with Southern Arkansas. Very sad. I also love basketball. Love watching in our Tucker Coliseum. However, the Golden Suns basketball team, our women's basketball team, has officially secured themselves a spot in the Great American Conference Tournament with an 80-65 win against Southern Arkansas. We also have some upcoming events as far as Residence Life goes. Today marks early registration for summer, fall, and winter semesters. Today, March 1st. So those with 90+ credit hours or priority registration, make sure to start making those appointments with your advisors. You should have an email, and you can also find who your advisor is through your One Tech. Other events. Tonight at 8 p.m., actually right after the show, maybe not right after, but you could head over there right after. Chris Garcia, who is a writer for Gabriel Iglesias, who is like my all-time favorite comedian, is going to be in the Witherspoon Auditorium doing a comedy show at 8 p.m. tonight in Witherspoon. So go ahead and head over there right after the show for some laughs. So now everyone help me in welcoming up Miss Arkansas Tech Alli Beth King, Dr. Lynette Gilbert, and Kinley Robertson from the College Panhellenic Council, here to discuss Women's History Month. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. So I know I just gave y'all kind of an introduction, but if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, you know, your position, your major, your year, whatever you want to say, go ahead.
I'm Kinley Robertson. I'm with College Panhellenic Council. My position, I'm the president. It's a lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but I wouldn't have it any other way. My major is elementary education, and I am a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Alli Beth King. I'm Miss Tech 2022. I'm on the Golden Girls dance team. I'm in Zeta. My major is scenography, so. Woo.
And good evening. I had a lot of majors, but I am assistant professor, art education in the Department of Art, and Dr. Lynette Gilbert. And this is my 3rd year at Tech, and I've been enjoying it. Thank you.
Woohoo! Well, thank y'all so much for joining us today. Alli Beth, what is scenography?
It's like ultrasounds. I'm going to eventually transfer to UAMS. Right now I'm just getting prereqs here. So I don't know if that would technically be considered my major or not.
Well, that's cool. I just really didn't know what it was. But, so like I said, March is Women's History Month, and so we're here to discuss that. We have these beautiful women here with us today. So we just talked about like y'all's positions, why you're here, what you represent. Tell us what you do in your current position.
I plan like all sorority mixers, and so like CPC is like over recruitment in the fall and spring. We do a lot with Greek life. We're over like Phi Mu, Alpha Sigma Tau, Zeta, and Delta Zeta. It's a lot of fun. We do a lot of cool events and try to get more people involved.
As Miss Tech, I promote my personal platform, which is Give You, which is give yourself to others unselfishly, and it just encourages people to volunteer. And I'll also be competing as Miss Tech and Miss Arkansas this summer and getting to represent the university.
I guess as the person that's over art education, I foresee the pre-service future art educators. There's really only 2 art ed classes, so I get that transition period to really get them started and instructed in what it means to be an art educator. The special thing about being an art educator is that you're certified K through 12. So when they graduate, they have that option of being an elementary, middle, or high school art teacher. So it's like a major goal of mine to just really empower future art educators and to really teach them how to diversify their curriculum as they go out into the field.
That's awesome. That's really cool. That's one thing. I'm actually in I'm an English education major, and so I'm in my first education class this semester, and that's one thing that we focus on a lot is diversity and inclusion and multiculturalism in the schools, because that's really where everything has to start. So that's awesome. One question that I just have for you, Kinley, is how has being in a sorority helped you grow as a woman?
It's gave me a lot of self-confidence, and it's really helped like with public speaking and make me more involved on campus. If it wasn't for me being in FIMU, I would not be involved in half the things I am involved in. So it's a lot of fun, and I highly encourage anyone to go Greek.
And Alli Beth, you can answer as well since I know that you're in Zeta.
It's given me a lot of friends and taught me how to meet new people because, like, coming from a small town, I didn't really know how to go out and just meet people because I saw the same 60 people every single day. So being in a sorority has really taught me how to connect with other people and hold leadership positions.
Dr. Gilbert, were you ever in a sorority?
Yes.
Oh, okay, go ahead and answer.
I'm a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I crossed many moons ago. But the lifelong sisterhood and friendship, we celebrated our silver anniversary 3 years ago, where I'm still communicating with my line sisters, networking. I've lived different places, and each one I find that community with my sorority sisters. And not to mention that my mother and my sister also are in the same sorority. So it's that common bond, and that's that deeper bondness I have with them as well.
That's awesome. That's really special. I've seen that a lot. I'm not in a sorority myself, but I've seen other girls where it's like, oh my gosh, you're a Delta Zeta, I'm a Delta Zeta too, and it's some random thing, 20 years down the line where you just had this connection you never even knew. So what is back to kind of like being a woman, what is your favorite part about being a woman?
Oh, I guess I'll go since I have the mic. Just being a woman, to be perfectly honest, the sheer essence of being a woman and embodying womanhood and being empowered in that position. And just however you see it, even the tough parts of being a woman is also what makes us so great. So that sheer pure essence of being a woman is what I live for and I'm excited about, and making sure I am proud in my representation of not only being a woman, but being a Black woman as well.
I would say mine would probably be like being able to connect with other women. I feel like that's just such a special bond that people can create with other women.
I agree with what Kinley said. I feel like just being able to empower other women is a really cool thing.
I agree. It's once again just that connectivity of, just girl power, girls support girls. I love it. Do you know how International Women's Day or like this Women's History Month, how it originated?
I do not.
Okay, well, I did a little bit of research, and it originated in 1981, and it kind of surrounded the whole, you can do it, we can do it movement. And when of course, World War II was not in the 80s, but that whole idea originated with the World War II, and the majority of our men being overseas, and so the women had to, pick up the workforce, and we proved that, yeah, we've been in the house, but we can do this as well, and we're just as versatile as the men are, and we can achieve just as much as the men can, and we have that history of proving ourselves, so that's really cool. Why is it important to acknowledge Women's History Month?
I think that it is very important because it can help to contribute to other women. Just in the world we are in today, I think that's really important.
I think a lot of people see women as weak, and for example, like Women's Empowerment Month, things like that, it shows that you have people standing behind you and willing to support you, and I think it's good for young girls to see that.
I would agree. It's also that opportunity to give us our seat at the table that we rightfully deserve. So that having this month is like a catalyst to just kind of remind everyone that we're here, that we have a voice, that we are representational, and we also are doing impactful and powerful things. And so those are the things that really come through with Women's Month, and then hopefully it resonates and it continues through the year.
Well said, Dr. Gilbert, well said. So all of you are prominent women in leadership, which is what we need, but why is it important to have women in leadership?
I think women look at things differently than other people or other men do, through the heart and stuff. I think it's just very good to have that woman-to-woman leadership. You can connect with other women, and you can listen to all their different experiences and have a connection with that woman.
I agree. I also think it's important for young girls to see that you can do anything you want, because you used to, as a woman, you couldn't hold many leadership positions. So holding those positions as a woman and letting young girls see that, they see that if they set their mind to do something, that they can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to know that in those leadership positions, to know that I can. I teach African American art history, and we just talked about Amy Sherrill and the impactfulness of her portrait of Michelle Obama. And then the young lady, Parker, looks up, and how she was just in awe, and how it just spoke volumes, how important it was for her to see her in such an impactful, powerful positioning and poise, and to know that she too, one day, could make a difference as a woman. So those leadership positions are very important, because still today in 2022, we need to see those things. So as our children are growing up, our friends, our nieces, our nephews, they're empowered to see women in powerful positions.
Exactly. It's about representation and being able to see yourself in those positions one day if you want to. So who is your personal female role model, and why is she your role model?
For me, it would be my mother, hands down. Johnny Mae Mayberry Gilbert is that's my girl. She's my everything. She's my muse. She was actually my art professor when I was at Tougaloo College, which is a historically black college. But just to see her navigate through life in general, seeing her as not only my mother, but as my professor, watching her get her doctoral degree, her MFA, her master's in art, just seeing her was just and even now, like she's 73, and I'm like, slow down. So she is my muse, absolutely.
Mine would be my mother as well. She is also a teacher. She was an elementary school teacher when I was in elementary school, and so I'm so glad I didn't have her as a teacher. That would have been rough, but she is just an amazing woman. I always will look up to her. She just always knows how to carry herself, and she's just an amazing woman all around.
Mine would have to be my grandma, just because she loves everyone, no matter what their background is, and if she can help somebody, she's always going to, and that's something that she's always instilled in me. And so just seeing her love for others is something that I strive to be like her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine would be my mother as well. She's, like y'all said, she's held many hats, and she's shown me how to be a good citizen, shown me how to be a good woman, and just taught me how to be a good person, improve myself, and that's really important, and that's really impactful. So we've talked about, kind of like appreciating the good and appreciating some of the rough parts of being a woman living kind of in, a society that can sometimes be male-dominated. So can you tell me about a time when you overcame adversity as a woman in leadership?
When I was going into my senior year of high school, I had the opportunity to attend Arkansas Girls State. And it was just an amazing experience seeing all the women in leadership. It was just so cool. You walked around and you saw women everywhere, and it was just an amazing thing to go to.
I also went to Girls State.
Well, I guess a situation, actually it was pre-pandemic. I went to speak at a conference, and I was literally the only woman speaking, and it was just men in the room. And it was almost as if they weren't really paying attention to my presentation. The questioning that they were giving me had nothing to do. So finally, I had to flip the script. I said, you know what? This is my table. This is my scene. Let me teach you something here, and then come ask me the questions later. So it's one of those things where you have to realize when you are in that position of power that you stand on it and you own it, and then they're able to come back into themselves. And I don't know if they meant to do that or not, but I think as naturally, maybe they saw that they were dominant in that space, and so it almost felt as if they can kind of bully me through my presentation. But you have to hold your own and be empowered for that, and I think even they learned from that situation as well.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it is something that's just subtle like that, just an over-questioning or an over-doubtfulness, where it's like, why are you questioning? Why are you doubting? There's no reason. And, just making women small when we're not small. We're not. We're just as big as everybody else. So we just talked about, some challenges that y'all had to overcome. What are the biggest challenges that you think that women face today, and how do you think that this will hopefully change in the coming years?
Where do I start? I think there's a lot, but we definitely need to talk about the abortion laws that are happening within Texas, taking the rights away from choices that women should have, because you don't know what those circumstances or situations are. And also just sexism, trauma, how we're being treated in the doctor's office. So I think the list goes on and on and on. There's not just one singular issue, but we just all need to take that position, at least on, if not all of them, one of them, and be that voice.
That was very well said. That was really good. I agree.
Do you agree? Yes. Awesome. So, Dr. Gilbert, you talked about leading and presenting in front of men. How do you think that leading a group of women is different than leading a mixed-gendered group? And anybody answer? Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that you can lead, that you mostly, I assume, mostly lead women as your Panhellenic. So maybe you have that more of like, how is it leading a group of women versus, how is it leading a group of a co-ed group?
Leading a group of women is very organized, super organized, very, very organized. I've never had to lead a group of men too, so I've mainly just worked with women, but working with women is amazing, and I would love to one day maybe work with men also.
I used to choreograph our beta skits for beta convention, and we always had boys and girls. And I'll just say it, women are a lot easier to corral. They listen a lot better from what I've seen. I think it just comes from being, as a woman, that being told what to do, you have to do it. Or in my experience anyways, it's kind of like a submissive type thing. Or that's what I've picked up on.
I think when you're leading a group of women, you automatically have a connection. So leading them makes it a little bit easier because you're going to identify with them on different levels. I mean, I'm an educator, so I've had a classroom full of just guys. I've had a classroom mixed completely, and I've had a classroom full of just girls. And, personalities are personalities. But one thing rings clear, even when with a group of young men or men in general, there's a connection somewhere even with them as they connect with a mother or a grandmother or a sister or a best friend. But I think what's the big difference is with your leading with women, that there's automatically a connection there. Whether it's unspoken or spoken, there is a connection that's already there.
I completely agree with that. So with men, how can men support women in leadership and kind of just women in general on a day-to-day?
Support. Support. Open the door. Just think about what's going on now. Even though many may not approve of Vice President Kamala Harris, what President Biden did was open the door and gave that opportunity. The same thing for as we work on the confirmation of the new Supreme Court Justice. Opening that door. If you are in a position where to allow a woman to lead, allow them to lead. Don't, and it's not about pacifying women. It's about being respectful and allowing them to do what you know that they are able to do. So I think that's one thing that men can do, is just open the door, support. We're not asking to be led. We're just asking you to stand next to us and allow us to lead.
It's realizing that they sometimes do have better and more opportunities than we do. So if they can open those opportunities up to us and use that privilege, then it just makes everyone happier, and it gives us more of an equal standing, which benefits everyone.
I think it also just starts with respect. Like when a woman takes a position and is in a leadership role, I think men just need to learn to respect that and not question it, because I feel like as a woman, a lot of times when you get a leadership position, people are wondering if it's because you're really qualified or not. And I think men should just respect that you earned that position and give you respect for that.
Yeah, going off of what they've both said, I think men can also support women in what all they do, and also women can also support men in what all they do. I think that has a big role play in it.
I agree. It's just supporting each other, and it's being there for each other. Well, that's all the questions that I have. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Can we get one more round of applause for our amazing guests? So it is now game time, and before we jump into game time, I want to have one final reminder to go ahead and pull out your phones right now, take a picture of you watching ATU Live in person or at home, and post it on your Instagram story. Tag us at ATU Res Life, and after the game, we will do a drawing for a prize. So make sure that y'all go ahead and do that. And so now we are going to have our game contestant come up. And yeah, thank y'all so much once again for joining me today. So thank you. So while we have our contestant coming up, I would like some more people to play. Do I have any volunteers for our game? Come on up, come on. Come on, both of y'all. Yeah, go ahead and sit down, and here is your mic. Let me turn it on for you. Thank you. Awesome. So while we are waiting on everyone to come up on stage, I'll explain this game really quick. It is charades, and we have some predetermined charades things. And we have some predetermined charades themes, but the theme is women in leadership. So these are going to be different females in leadership, and we're going to take turns. And if y'all watched the show last time, we had no sounds, no words at all, but this time you can speak, and you can act it out, and you can do whatever. So I'll go first, but you guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves. So go ahead and you can say your name or your major, kind of, whatever you want to say about yourself.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lindley. I am a part of the College Van Hellenic Council with Kenley.
Hey, I'm Clemencia, and I'm an elementary education major.
I'm Lindsay, and I'm an art education major.
And what year are y'all?
Junior.
I'm a sophomore.
I'm also a sophomore.
I'm a sophomore too. Okay, we're going to get this started, and I'll go first. So I'm going to put the tablet up to my head, and y'all can go ahead and try to act it out and see if I can guess it. And you can use words, like I said, too, so you can say whatever you want. And yeah, it's just a fun little game.
What do I say? What do I say? I'm nervous.
Go ahead, say it.
Holocaust.
Oh, and break.
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. Okay. And then Lindley, do you want to switch seats with me? Don't look at it, but just here. I can tap the screen for you, actually. So it's still on Anne Frank, and I'm going to tap it, and it's going to change. And once I tap it, if you could face the camera so everyone at home can see you. Ooh. Beautiful actress.
Disney.
Disney.
Susan, like, Shake It Up.
Greatest Showman. Yes, good job, Zendaya. Woohoo! Okay, Clemencia, you want to go ahead and go next? And keep it on Zendaya, and then we can tap it to switch. All right, are you ready? All right, if you could face it towards the camera so everyone can see.
America.
America.
Vice President?
Vice President. Kamala Harris. Good job. Woo! All right, you can go ahead and go next.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
I'll go ahead and tap it for you. And, oh, do it one more time.
Okay. Oh,
We'll go back one more. I think we can go back. Yep. All right, face the camera so we can see. All right, famous singer. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. I know what it means to me. Do you have any guesses? You can be wrong. Don't be afraid to be wrong. No, you can't cheat. Make a guess. A singer. A famous female singer. She's kind of from the older generation. No, not Beyonce. Older. Rihanna? Nope, older. She just looked. Aretha Franklin.
Look how she just went for it.
Okay, I think me and Lindley and Clemencia have a point so far. So I'll go back up. Okay.
I don't like
There you go. All right. The next one, tap it for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I already.
Oh.
I don't remember what it was.
okay, you,
No, I don't remember what
Okay.
it was. Go ahead.
Underground Railroad?
Oh, Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
Okay. Woohoo. All right, Lindley. All right. Ooh, this one's gonna be hard. Egypt. She's an Egyptian woman. She's from a long, long time ago. Yes, Cleopatra! Good job! All right. Clemencia. There you go. Peace.
Yeah. She helped with sick people. That was like her thing.
She's like known for helping people and just known for being a good person.
That's all I've got. She wore blue. I don't know if that helps, but she wore blue.
Was she a nun?
She's sainted.
I think she was something like a nun, maybe. She was sainted?
Yeah.
She was?
Yeah.
Oh. She was a religious woman. She's French. Of Calcutta? She's not French.
I was like, I didn't think she was French.
That was a lie. Just kidding. Her name? Do you have any guesses, Clemencia? Her name has a synonym for mom. Good job! Woohoo! Great job, Colencia. Go ahead.
Oh, wait, no, she's holding it.
There you go. All right, face, so we can see. Civil rights. Civil rights. Martin Luther King refused to sit down on the bus. Rosa Parks, woohoo! Amazing. Awesome. Is it my turn again? Yes. Awesome. Here you go. All right, it's gonna be our last one. All right, this is our last one.
This is the French lady that I think he was talking about. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say she helped out with the 100 Years' War. I don't know if you know anything about that.
I don't know anything about wars.
They didn't want her to fight, but she still fought. She, like, helped lead.
Joan of Arc?
My next thing would have been, like, she was in Bill and Ted's.
I wouldn't have known what that means. That was awesome. I think we all tied. I think we all just had fun, and we tied. Thank y'all so much for joining us for our game. Give a round of applause for our wonderful contestants. Thank you. That concludes our episode for tonight, everyone. But before we finish, we are going to do some shout-outs. Miss Alli Beth King is going to come up and do our shout-outs for the female student staff, or just females on campus.
Okay, the first one goes to Gabrielle Guardian, Stephanie Swatzel, Rachel Harrington on the student staff, Brooke Jennings, she has been so helpful this year in every aspect, Elizabeth Turner, Laura Palmer, Jana Crouch, Megan Finn, Emily Norton, Maggie Duval, she's the best with cameras, Abby Ivy, Allie Sutherland, Miss Holly Hall, she is so helpful and kind to students, Chinzar, Aubrey Holt, Dr. Charades O'Main, Dr. Suparna Chatterjee, Peyton Youngblood, my twin, bestie, and boss all in one, Miss Tina in Bass Tech, she's a sweetheart and always greets you with a smiling face, Dr. Molly Bryant in the Ag Department, and the last one is Jacqueline LaBeouf, she's always willing to help.
Thank you all so much. Thank you to the women on campus who help us every day, help us with our endeavors. And thank you, Miss Alli Beth King, for reading those off for us. All right, well, that concludes our show. But before we leave, I am going to pick a winner off of our Instagram. They're going to get a Domino's gift card. So let me look. Our winner is Miss Haley Allen. Where is Haley? Woohoo! Come get your prize. Thank you once again to our amazing guests, Miss Arkansas Tech Alli Beth King, Dr. Lynette Gilbert, and Kinley Robertson for joining us tonight. Make sure that y'all have a wonderful week, and make sure to join us next week where we are going to discuss internships. Same time, same place. Love y'all. Bye.